Good morning, and good morning, everybody. My name is Marquise Williams. I'm super duper excited to have each and every one of you plugged in on training this morning. Man, 2016 is blowing by, and man, I'm just excited about the future. I'm excited about what the future holds. I'm excited about the possibilities. I had a long trip last weekend. I went to Minnesota, and that's why we didn't have the normal training that we normally have. And during the time, I had a long layover and a long flight, and I just had an opportunity to just kind of observe my surroundings. I'm always observing my surroundings, looking at people, looking at things, looking at the economy, looking at the government, looking at things that are going on. And it just got me to thinking, about, what do people truly desire in life? A lot of my motto is always your actions must line up with your words. And when you start thinking about that motto, I start thinking about the conversations that I have with a lot of people and the different things that they have going on in their life. And Paul Jones always says, I've never heard a good excuse except for death. And what he means by when he says that is that basically life is 10% what happens to you and 90% of how you respond to it. Sometimes, more often than not, we overthink things in life. We overcomplicate something that is so simple. And today, I want to urge you to reboot your why. To reboot your why and stop overcomplicating something that is so simple. I had a chance, I put in a few phone calls, just to reconnect with some buddies of mine. And I have a lot of different friends that are in the industry. Some companies are $500 to get started. Some companies are $1,000 to get started. Some companies are high ticket items, $2,000+ to get started. And just conversing with them, how things are going. And it always amazes me how their opportunities cost significantly more than ours, but they have hundreds of people coming in month after month after month. So it got me to thinking, why is that? What's the difference? And I realized one main thing. They're keeping it simple. See, amateur people convince. They do their best to convince people to get into the business. They show the plan to them, multiple times. They go back to them, and they seem very desperate. But see, professionals sort. And one thing I understand about sorting is you have to have some type of inventory to sort. And if you're not talking to people, if you don't have some type of lead flow coming in, whether you're buying leads, whether you're using different marketing techniques to generate leads, whether you're putting out flyers or different ads to generate leads, or you're out talking to people, there has to be something that's getting you in contact with new people. Because without new people, there's no way for you to sort people to be able to find those that are right to work with us business partners. And in order for you to meet and connect with new people, you have to schedule for success. Now, some of you have often heard me say that your best is outside your comfort zone. So oftentimes, if you think you're giving your best, you're really not giving your best because you're still in your comfort zone. You're not uncomfortable. And one of the biggest things, when I think about what was one of the biggest things that I learned from to get to a level of success that I got to, Because for a long time, I was just going through life, and I realized a lot of people just go through life and they're conditioned, they're used to their level of success or even the level of failure. What I realized about myself was that the truth be told, failure hadn't affected me that much. I wasn't pissed off. I wasn't fed up. I was okay with just shopping at Marshall's and TJ Maxx in Burlington. I was okay with just eating out at fast food restaurants and doing average things. I was okay with doing, not going on vacations and living a mediocre life, only putting $5 in my gas tank because that's all I could afford. I was okay with not having enough time freedom to do the things that I really wanted to do. I was okay with just living an average life. And I had to challenge my self-worth. I had to really look in the mirror and say, am I worth more than this? I had to look in the mirror and say, what do I value? Do I have goals? Do I have dreams? And I had to start thinking about these things. See, a lot of you are going through or have gone through negative things. And what I want to tell you is that don't get discouraged by the negative things or the storm that you're going through. Be grateful for the struggle. Embrace the fact that your struggles are temporary. Embrace the fact that your struggles are molding your way of thinking. Embrace the fact that your struggles are molding you into somebody that you have never been before. Molding you so that you can think a way that you never thought before. Do things that you never thought before so that you can change your life. Because if you learn from your struggles and take the struggle, take the storm as an asset for your benefit, then you can truly reach your goals and reach your dreams. See, there's a saying, look at the glass half empty or look at the glass half full. Some people see the rain and the storms that come and they look at it as half empty, the fact that if they go somewhere, they'll get wet. Or it makes rougher driving environments. But the person who looks at the glass as half full looks at it as the rain is creating moisture for the grass and for the plants. That creates oxidation, that creates beauty for our world. That is the true embodiment of life. Is 90% what happens to you, 10% what happens to you, and 90% of how you respond or react to it. So when I say reboot your why, you have to get back in touch with what it is that you desire. Because this business is meant to be fun. This business is meant to be exciting, not discouraging and not feeling like a part-time job. I can tell you, each and every emotion that every single one of you on the line right now or listening to the replay, each and every emotion that you feel or are feeling right now, I've experienced it at some point in my career. Fear, hesitation, discouragement, feeling like it's not possible, feeling like I can't find anybody, feeling like nobody wants to do it, feeling like I'm never going to have the time to really do what it takes to be successful, feeling like, I might as well just quit because it's not working. I had those feelings. And what I realized is that the devil comes to kill, steal, and destroy. His main purpose is to make you believe that the promise is not available to you. What's the promise? The promise is that the end of the story has already been written. You win. That's the promise. So as long as you stick and stay, as long as you stay faithful, as long as you follow directions, as long as you do things according to the system and not according to your way, then you're going to win. See, a lot of times when you pick up a cake at a grocery store, you see that nice, pretty picture on the front of the box. Man, it looks all moist. It looks good. I'm getting hungry just thinking about it. And you go And if you follow the directions on the back of the cake box, you're going to get the pretty picture on the front. But what happens is we like to add our own touch of flavor to it. We like to add our own ingredients to it. We like to do our own thing. And what happens is when we do our own thing, we add our own flavor, our own ingredients, the results of the end picture is unknown. There's no guarantee that we're going to get that pretty picture on the front of the box. We don't know what we're going to get. I have no idea. But see, when you got started in the business, that's when you created the picture at the front of the box. That's when we gave you the directions to get that picture. So if you're finding yourself not getting the picture on the front of the box right now in your business, then maybe there's some directions that you didn't follow. Maybe there's some missing ingredients. Maybe somewhere along the way you missed something. I'm urging you today, reconnect with what you want. Because this business is simple. And it's a simple formula. Talk to people, show the plan. Talk to people, show the plan. And if you do that, it doesn't matter how many people say yes. It doesn't matter how many people say no. It doesn't matter how many people get started and quit. You're focused on you're focused on your promise. You're focused on what your goals and dreams are. That's what you're focused on. So, moving forward, we're gonna stay a lot more engaged. We're gonna start building this business like it's a business and not like it's a crapshoot. What do you mean, Marquise? Well, in building your business like it's a business, there's certain accountability points that you can track. There's certain things that you can track to identify where you're going wrong in your business. First one is how many people that you're talking to. How many people are you talking to on a daily basis? How many people are you talking to on a weekly basis? When we begin to look at that number, that adjustment can determine the flow of growth in your business. I'll give you an example. For those who are homeowners, you know at times you can get into wars with who has the best looking, grass in your front yard, right? So my grass was clean, cut, it's looking good. But I noticed the lady two doors down, she's watering her grass every morning. It's starting to green up a little bit more than mine. So I went and put my sprinkler out, and her sprinkler covers the whole yard. We basically got the same size yard in the front. Covers the whole yard. My sprinkler covers like 1/4. I'm like, man, what type of sprinkler she got? Have you ever found yourself in the business wondering, man, what's Jason Lee doing? What's Mario doing? What's all these other people that they're edifying on these calls? What are they doing? Found yourself thinking that or saying that to yourself? Well, I went and I looked at what type of sprinkler she got. I even went and got the same sprinkler. Looked up the sprinkler, turned the water on. Same thing. Water's about 1/4 of the grass. Water's about 1/4 of the grass. Dang, what's going on? So I went, I did some research, looked up some things on YouTube. And your water pressure might be low. I adjusted the water pressure. And as I increased the pressure, the more water that came to the sprinkler and the more the sprinkler covered. So when you're looking at how many people that you're talking to, it doesn't matter if you're talking to them from leads that you bought, leads that you generated online, people that you meet. The point is, every single day you have a target, you have a goal, how many people you want to talk to. My motto is 2 people a day brings freedom my way. But if you're full-time in this business, you need to be talking to at least 10 people every single day. 10 people every single day. When you work a job, you give 40 hours a week to that job, 8 hours a day. That's not counting the 1 hour lunch break that you have that you're really still working. That doesn't count the hour that you spend getting ready in the morning. That doesn't count the 30 minutes to an hour that you spend commuting in rush hour traffic in the morning. That doesn't count the 30 minutes to an hour the commute that you have after you get off work. We give 10 to 12 hours a week to somebody else's goals and dreams, and you complain about giving 5 to 10 hours a week to your own goals and dreams. And that has to stop. That has to stop. I know you're tired. I know you're frustrated. I know you got kids. I know you got work. I know you got other things going on in your life. But if nothing changes, then nothing changes. And I can teach you all the marketing techniques in the world. I can teach you exactly what to say. But if you don't get the right thought process, if you don't get the right foundation, then the house is going to crumble eventually. See, JMG Net Worth is an innovative company. We think of ideas first before anybody else. But that doesn't always mean that we're going to be the only one in the game. So we have to build a culture of loyalty, because our whole focus is your life is a business. So we don't want you to join us because we have the best credit repair. We don't want you to join us because we have the best food. We don't want you to join us because we have the best merchant services. Because if somebody comes along with a better quality of food in somebody's perspective, if somebody comes along with another merchant services that's 0.0001% less than ours, then people are going to move, because guess what? We brought them on with the thought process that we're the best. But see, if we give people and we market that, we give people the best experience. If we market, hey, your entire life is a business, and JMG Net Worth is committed to helping you save money or make money in each and everything that you do in your life, that's what sets us apart. But if you're trying to convince people and not sorting people, then you're not gonna get it. You're gonna miss out every single time. And if you're not talking to people, you're definitely going to miss out every single time. So the first measure is you got to talk to people. You got to have some people to sort. So that's one of the things that if you're personally sponsored by me, I'm going to start being on you. I'm going to start asking you how many people you talk to today, how many names and numbers you get today. What did you do for your business today? The second level of measurement is setting appointments. Because once you sort, the next thing to do is set appointments. We got to get them in front of the business. I remember one of my Achilles heels, one of the bad things I used to do early in my career, I used to get names and numbers all day. I was a recruiting machine. But the names and numbers would just sit on my desk. They would just sit in my pocket. I would never call them. That didn't do my business any good. So once you make the contact, gotta call them. You gotta reach out and set the appointment to share the good news. You see, we're sharing the good news with people. There are people who are praying for an opportunity. I was thinking about, I said that a couple of weeks ago, I was thinking about, chain reactions. If my cousin would have never came to my graduation party and gave me the business card that said, this is the best gift that I could give you. When you're ready to get started in the business, call me. I maybe would have never got started in the business. And in turn, because I didn't get started in the business, I would have never made the connections and changed the amount of people's lives that I have. I probably would have never straightened up and flied right and started living life the right way. It's called the butterfly effect. When you look at people who made an impact even greater than me in this world, Muhammad Ali. I think back to the story where the dude stole Muhammad Ali's brand new bike. He stole the brand new bike. And somebody told him, hey, there's a cop down there in the basement of that building. You could go tell him. And he went down to the basement of that building, and he didn't find the cop, but there was a guy named Joe who ran a boxing gym, and he told Joe, man, I hope the cop finds him before I find him, because when I find him, I'm going to whoop him. And the guy, Joe said, do you even know how to whoop somebody? Muhammad Ali said no. He said, well, if you're going to whoop him, then you're going to need to know how to whoop him. Let me show you how to whoop him. And Muhammad Ali started coming back to that gym every single day, and that's when he developed his love for boxing. But if the guy never would have stole his bike, then there probably would never be a Muhammad Ali. He probably would have never impacted the world on a civil rights movement level. He probably would have never impacted the world in the sport of boxing. He probably never would have inspired his daughter, Layla Ali, to build up the women's sport of boxing. I say that to say that your decisions don't only impact you. You may feel like it's nothing. Your decisions are nothing. But to others, your decisions mean the world. And there's people who are praying for an opportunity right now. And you might be the only answer to their prayers. That's why we got to go out and we got to tell people about this awesome opportunity. Not for the houses, not for the cars, not for the money, but to be a glowing example of how awesome God is. How your life can be changed. And there's so many people out there praying for opportunity, you guys. So many people out there praying for opportunity, and we have to stop being timid. You have to stop being worried about telling people. You have to stop having empathy and thinking that $20 is a lot of money. Stop having empathy and thinking that $69.95 is a lot of money. Stop thinking $120 is a lot of money. People spend money on what they want to spend money on. We just have to show them the value and why they want to spend money on their personal growth and development and financial prosperity. But if we're not talking to people, we'll never be able to do that. We'll never be able to do that. So once you're talking to people, you're sorting people, and you take the people that you sort, and you're setting appointments with them, the next job is to show the plan. Show the plan. Eventually, you'll get to the point where you can sit down face-to-face with people and show them the plan and be good at it. For right now, we have tools, the conference calls, freedom calls. We have the focused marketing system. We have your sponsor, your upline for a 2-on-1. And you want to engage. The reason that you want to engage is because repetition breeds duplication. The more that you hear it, the more you're going to subconsciously understand it and be able to regurgitate and talk about it. So eventually you can get to that point where you're sitting down one-on-one and giving people a custom, tailored presentation. But until then, you want to be engaged as much as possible. Get on every call, every meeting, every training, and get plugged in. You got to treat it like you want it. We often hear the saying, you got to want it as bad as you want to breathe. If you step out of your shoes, if you step out of who you are right now and look from a distance, you might question, dang, do I really want to breathe? If I went by that statement, do I really want to breathe? So you guys, it's time. It's time to take it to the next level. I mean, we gotta. It's go time. It's like when you look at people, Jehovah's Witnesses. They go out door to door spreading the good news. I think, man, if I was broke, I really wanted to build this business, I would go to door. If I had to, if it really came down to it, if I didn't know how to market, I would go to the malls like I used to, and I would talk to people. If I don't have a lot of time, I would get on the internet, and I would use different marketing techniques on the internet. I would find away. We have a 3 this week plan of action, you guys. And I want you to think, when you look at sports, they do their best to build the best team possible. Look at the players that they have. They look at the results of the team. They make adjustments based on those two things. Stepping out of yourself and who you are right now, I want you to ask yourself, would you hire you? Would you have you on the team based on your results? See, only you know what you really did yesterday. Only you know what you did last week. I can look at the results and what's on the books and what the end result is, but only you know what the work ethic was through the week. I want you to ask yourself, would you hire you? See, we're here to work together. Are you utilizing your sponsor and your upline? I know some of you I don't even hear from until training or I hear you on the Freedom Call. You have somebody who's made 7 figures in this industry. Why are you not talking to them as often as possible? Is it because you just view them as a friend now? Or is it because you're worried because you know you're not doing what you need to do, that they're going to chastise you or say something that you don't want to hear? I tell you guys, every single feeling that you have, I've been there. I've looked at the caller ID and seen Paul Jones and said, man, I really don't want to answer the phone before. I know I didn't do nothing last week. But I realized that he's only there to support me. And if I pick up the phone, he may comment on my lack of results, just like I may comment on yours. But he's always going to help me rise above that. He's always going to help me grow and get past and make the adjustments, because there's a reason you're not getting results. There's a reason. You have to identify that reason and overcome it. Otherwise, you're never going to reach the promise that's already been there, that's already been awarded for you. So I hope today's training got through to you. Sometimes when you don't give nuts and bolts and actual training on what to do, people get frustrated and they tune you out. But I don't want to just help you make money, you guys. I want to help you become successful in all areas of your life, spiritually, mentally, physically, emotionally, as well as financially. And as long as you allow your current circumstances, what's in your bank account, what's in your time bank account, to dictate your character as a person, then you're never going to be successful. For some people, they act different when they broke versus when they got a little bit of money. They're more grumpy, they're irritable, things like that. You guys, you want to be who you are at all times. And I want to help each and every one of you win. So the main focus, each and every one of you, is 3 this week. This week, I want it to be a week where we're able to really take off. Corey and Cassandra, I want you guys to get together and identify a day, either this week or next week, that I could come down. We ain't got to have a big meeting. We could just kind of sit down and fellowship and game plan on taking over Savannah. Bernard, Lisa, and George, let's connect. Let's see how we could take over Maryland and make some big things happen up there in the Be-More area. It's wide open. Those of you down here in Atlanta with me, we got to take this over. It's hot Atlanta. There's no excuse. This is like a home business mecca. We really need to get it going on. Those of you up in Minnesota, that's home, baby. So we gotta crush it in Minnesota. There's already a meeting. So if you're not plugging into that meeting, if you're not plugging into the tools and resources that are already there, ask yourself, how bad do you really want it? How bad do you really want it? Those of you up in the Midwest, those in Detroit, Brother Brian up there in Indiana, I got to get up there. I got to help you guys. It's time to take things to a whole new level. want each and every one of you to understand I got your back. I want to help you win. I'm going to be calling you today and tomorrow. You know, I want to wish a happy Father's Day to those of you who are fathers. Happy Father's Day to those of you who are mothers that have been forced to be fathers too. You know, but I love each and every one of you. I want to help you win. I want to help you succeed. And sometimes that takes a little bit of tough love and telling you what you need to hear and not what you want to hear. But if you're willing to stay in there and follow the directions on the back of the box, I'm going to help you get that picture on the front. Look to hear from me soon, and let's start working on increasing your flow of people that you talk to and get in front of this business so we can increase your results. And remember, that all starts with being qualified. You can't get in the game if you're not on the team. Got to get qualified before your position gets canceled. So with that, you guys, I love you again. I see you at the top, and I will see you at the bank.